Hello everyone, Erica Rock, Spiritual Catalyst, sharing with you a free 11-day mini course in how to develop your intuition. Today's day one. So did you know that your intuition is a secret superpower? Very organic, very natural. We're all born with it. Somewhere along the way, a lot of times we shut it down. Especially if we have a family with certain religious beliefs that do not support activating one's intuition. So you might have like gut feelings that warn you when something just feels off, to helping you make better informed decisions. Your sixth sense is your own. It's like an inbuilt satellite navigation system, literally. Once you refine it and once you have a clear understanding of what you're receiving, the intuition you're receiving, and you trust it, everything becomes very magical. So your intuition can navigate and guide you through life's challenges with greater confidence, clarity, and certainty. And our intuition also plays an integral role in helping us live a life of greater purpose, authenticity, and alignment. Doesn't that sound pretty incredible? Because it is. And these are innate gifts. Everyone has them, okay? So well, before I get into that, so if you've ever experienced like a strong gut feeling, an inner voice, or an instinctive sense about something or someone, then you have felt your intuition at work. The problem is that we live in a world that tends to distract and dumb down this natural ability. Instead of it being as laser sharp and fine-tuned as the instincts of animals, our intuition tends to be overlooked and even scoffed at. There could be a stigma attached to it. So the good news is, and it's all good news, the good news is that with a little practice and consistency, you can activate and hone your intuitive skills. There are lots and lots of very simple ways you can begin this process. So I'm going to share one lesson per day for 11 days. And the first lesson is setting up your foundation with a yes and a no. And there's so many ways you can do this. If you're proficient in using a pendulum, you can just simply, I call in, this is always the first step. I call in my spirit guides, the beings of the one true light who lead, guide, direct, and protect me. I call you in now. Please make your presence known and our connection crystal clear. We set that intention. And then if you have a pendulum, you can simply ask, show me a yes, show me a no. You can muscle test. So I'm sharing these different things because different things work for different people. I have never been very proficient at muscle testing, but I'm great with the pendulum. However, what I want to teach you today is a way to use your body as the gauge for yes and for no. Because sometimes we don't have our pendulum available, or maybe you might be like me and you're not great at muscle testing and you don't trust that. But our body can become a fine-tuned instrument for helping our intuition kick in and to do simple yes or no questions. So we've called in our guides at this point. We've asked that our connection be clear and powerful. And then I like to bring my hands to my heart because this is not a religious thing. When we bring our hands to our heart, it balances the left and right hemispheres of the brain, and it starts to balance our energy centers in our body and our subtle fields. So you can do this along with me and say, show me a yes. And then feel into your body what begins to happen. You might feel, there's so many ways you could feel this. For me, my yes is I feel energy fly up from the soles of my feet all the way up my body, out my crown. That's a yes for me. And a no is when the energy goes the other way, from the crown down, out my feet. But you might feel, your yes might feel just a sense of lightness. Your heart may open. You might feel more expanded. It might be subtle, so you have to really pay attention. For my husband, his body acts like a pendulum, and his yes, he goes forward a little bit on the balls of his feet. That's his yes. And his no, he starts to sway from right to left. But it will be unique to you. And if you feel like it's too subtle and you're not getting it, intend and ask your guides in your body to intensify the sensation of the yes and the no, so that you are really clear. You're really, really, really clear. So again, show me a yes. Don't have any expectation of how the yes or no will show up, because when we do that, we tend to miss what's actually happening. So we're missing what our yes and no means. Show me a yes and see how you feel. Like, I feel the energy come upwards, but I also feel an incredible lightness. And then I always say thank you. Thank you. It's nice to be like considerate. Now, please show me a very clear no. And again, for me, the flow of energy goes downward, out my feet. But see what your no feels like. You might feel constricted. You might feel a little heavy, a little dense. You might feel it in your solar plexus. When we do yes or no's, I always recommend pay attention to your heart and your solar plexus, because these are common areas where we get the yes or no response, okay? If you're just starting out and you've never done this, you can start by grabbing some things, grabbing something that you know isn't very good for you. Grab a bag of sugar, grab a pack of cigarettes, grab that bottle of bourbon or whatever it is. Grab something that you know isn't good for you and take that object and hold it against your solar plexus or your belly button and ask, is this good for me? And see the sensations that you get. Pay attention to how you receive a no. Is it a sensation, a feeling, or a quiet voice? And then you can also try this exercise again with things that you know are good for you. Grab that organic apple, that broccoli, that spinach, that supplement, and ask, is this good for me? And I like to bring those to my heart. Is this good for me? And notice what a yes is. With consistency and practice, you are going to become masterful at this. Masterful at this. And I personally like to use my own body as the barometer, because sometimes we don't have access to a pendulum or to other outside things. So setting it up with your body is, you can do it anywhere, at any time, Is going to this event good for me? Is taking this new job good for me? Is getting in a relationship with, say their name, good for me? Is moving to this state or country good for me? You can start testing. And, I found when I started using my intuition, things started flowing better in my life. I wasn't as let down, disappointed, upset, because I used my intuition first to make the decisions. And our spirit guides and our body is a fine-tuned instrument to lead, guide, direct, and protect us in our earth walk. So I hope this was helpful. If you have any questions, post below, and I will see you tomorrow for lesson 2.